This is the book of Psalms 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. This Brother Tazapah here with you again with another lesson, and I'm going into this passage of Psalms 55 and 21 in light of a video that I have, which is going into the asymmetrical warfare that's being waged on the U.S. citizens right now and has been waged for the past 3 to 4 years, give or take. All right, with the shutdowns and the rollout of the Jews and all that gave them the ample time, all right, to test this 5G weapon system. And I've been calling it that from day one, which is exactly what it is. All right, this 5G is not for your telephones, it's not for your internet service. It is a millimeter microwave weapon system, all right, which just so happens to be able to carry communications and do all of the things that the what was 4G did. 5G can do also, but it doubles as a weapon system. All right. And we're gonna go into that. So I just want to go into some of these these verses here, and we're gonna jump up to verse 18. This is Psalm 55, verse 18. It says, He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. All right. Is this not what Gehazi showed? Elisha showed Gehazi, his servant. All right. When Gehazi began to worry about the troops that was mounting against the children of Israel, Gehazi got worried, but Elisha, who was the servant of Elijah, he told him, don't worry, all right? There'll be more for us or with us than be with them or for them. I'm going to see if I can grab that. This is what you have to keep in mind. All right. Now this is a different account, but it's going into the same thing. Let's read this. All right. So this Second Chronicles, all right, chapter 32, verse 4. It says, So there was gathered much people together, who stopped all the fountains and the brook that ran through the midst of the land, saying, Why should the kings of Assyria come and find much water? Also he strengthened himself and built up all the wall that was broken and raised it up to the towers, and another wall without, and repaired Milo in the city of David, and made darts and shields in abundance. And he set captains of war over the people, and gathered them together to him in the street of the gate of the city, and spake comfortably to them, saying, Be strong and courageous, be not afraid, nor dismayed for the king of Assyria, nor for all the multitude that is with him. For there be more with us than with them. All right. And it's the same today. All right. If you're doing all you can to stand, and you giving all diligence to make your calling and election sure, all right, and your conversation pleases the Most High in this earth, then there's a whole host that got your back, all right? That ain't to say what your lot is, all right? If your lot is to be martyred, then that's your lot. But we have nothing to fear of these people, all right? Nor their weapon system, nor anything that they think that they can do, all right? If Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is with us, who can be against us? Not a now person on earth, heaven, or the sea. All right. So we have the advantage. And you'll see that this is why they're using asymmetrical warfare. All right. I'm going to show you that in a few seconds here. Let's read that again. So this is, I believe this is Hezekiah. Yep, this is King Hezekiah. So he's comforting the people, rallying the people, telling them not to be afraid. All right, getting them in the spirit of the Lord. Because our Lord is what? Pursuant to Exodus 15:3, our Lord is a man of war. All right, so he was getting them in the spirit of the Lord. So it says again, 2 Chronicles chapter 32, verse 7, and this applies for us to this very day. Those who are fighting on behalf of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, this applies to us. Be strong and courageous. Be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria. Modern day king of Assyria is President Trump. All right. He didn't went and crowned himself. All right. He's labeled himself as the king. All right. Time magazine ran with it. I think Newsweek may have printed, I think they ran with it. But right, that's the king of Babylon, the king of Assyria right now. All right, spiritually speaking. So it says, be strong and courageous. Be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria, nor for all the multitude that is with him. All right, because they coming with FEMA. All right, Trump secretly, and we're going to get into this too. We're going to break this down, but Trump secretly, I ain't going to say he enacted FEMA, but he put the public on notice that basically FEMA is running the show. In code, of course, but this is why you saw what you saw in North Carolina. This is why you saw what you saw in L.A., in the surrounding cities in L.A. Not Lahaina, the Palisades, Santa Monica, I think parts of Beverly Hills, all of them ritzy areas, and even some of Zelensky's generals had bought mansions out there, and that shit got burnt up. All right. So it ain't all bad, but don't get me wrong, it is bad, But the Lord throwing us nuggets out there, But the point here being, okay, they're getting ready to pull out all the stops. FEMA, private mercenaries, on some purge type of activities. Of course, you got, your local sheriffs and your normal alphabet boys, ATF, FBI, CIA, not so much CIA, but the FBI, ATF, Homeland Security, of course, Homeland Security. So all of these guys are about to go rogue. Well, not really rogue, but as far as the citizens are concerned, they're about to go rogue. All right. And the government is getting ready to turn on you citizens. Now, they showed you this in part. during the whole Biden administration when they did everything in their power to show you as U.S. citizens that you ain't shit. They went out of their way to show you people that you ain't shit to them. And y'all still took y'all asses to the polls and went to vote, when what y'all should have did was get some pitchforks and torches. So now here come Trump. He got the answers, right? And you're going to find out about these answers. It's the same answers that we've been telling you at Great Millstone since I've been in it, you know, going back, I don't know how many years with the apostles, you know, concerning these end time prophecies. But right, it says, be strong and courageous. Be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria. All right. This is talking about Sennacherib back then. As you saw it back in verse 2. And when Hezekiah saw that Sennacherib was come, and that he was purposed to fight against Jerusalem, so Sennacherib, king of Assyria, right, very first verse. Sennacherib, king of Assyria. All right. So he was the man back then. But spiritual Assyria, America, all right, today that would be Trump. So be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria, Trump, nor for all the multitude that is with him, for there be more with us than with them. And then how could I forget Robot Dog? These cyber, not even cyborgs, full-on automated robots, androids. That's the term I was looking for. These androids, they real flexible, and their dexterity is amazing. They got one, Japan just made one that could do a standing front flip. All right, from feet to feet, no hands, just a vertical jump flip forward and land right on his feet, perfect balance. This is what they got now. The Robot Dog, you can't knock them over. You know, steady as a rock. And they come in strapped with 50 cals. All right. So, but there's more that be with us than or with them. So this is what who is this King David? I'm sorry, let me check. The Psalm of David, right? This is King David. So King David was saying here, sounded like him. Yep, back in Psalm 55, verse 18. He had delivered my soul in peace. All right. So King David he was chilling. He got delivered, didn't even have to break a sweat. He got delivered in peace. You see, from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. All right. Now that many, I didn't break that down. Well, yeah, I did speak on it, but that's the heavenly host. You can't see them, but they're there. All right. And we'll jack you up. You step wrong to a brother. You know? But yeah, he said he had delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. There's a battle against us right now. It says, for there were many with me. So we don't have to worry about all of the shit Esau doing, hoarding. He got to fortify his home and stuff. He got to shield and do all this stuff to protect him, his little frail, fragile ass from the frequencies and stuff. He got to block the Skylar and the 5G. You know, they making these Faraday cages, turning their homes into Faraday cages to block out the frequencies and the harmful radiations. We don't need any of that. We don't need none of that. All right? This is what it says, verse 19. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai shall hear and afflict them. Yes, we come into a time of affliction, great affliction. Okay? And it's for the wicked. All right? We as Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans predominantly, we were wicked. This is why we're in Babylon right now. All right? In a system which disenfranchises and oppresses us, and one in which we don't have any advocacy to even get justice. All right? Someone to speak honestly and truthfully on our behalf and not, putting on fronts. We've never had that, not on a major scale, okay? But yeah, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, shall hear and afflict them. So cry unto the Lord. The scriptures say, give him no peace, day nor night, till he have established, the kingdom. So yeah, crying to the Lord so he can hear and start afflicting these devils. Even he that abided of old, remember, this is the Ancient of Days we're talking about. He abided of old, Salah, because they have no changes. Therefore, they fear not Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. Right. Are people so at peace with this devil, they go and vote for him? How much more at peace can you be? Or I don't need to say nothing else. Our people are so at peace with this devil that every 4 years, they go and vote for this devil or his brethren. It's all one big club. George Carlin told you years ago before he passed. It's one big ass club. None of us are in it. All right? So we're not included in any of this shit, this golden age Trump speaks about. That ain't for y'all. That ain't for you, Mark Mains. The golden age is for them to have you in subject or subject unto them, all right, in oppression. All right? So yeah, that's us. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. This is why Job says what it says about the every hand of the wicked shall come against him, because the wicked, which is the Hebrew word aimal, means the sufferers or the laborers, you see, which first and foremost, us again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly. You see, he put forth his hands against us all the day long with no fears, no worries. Let's look at this video. Yeah, let's look at this video before we get to that.
Your assessments here are correct. These are very covert weapons, aren't they? They don't leave behind bomb fragments, bullet holes, etc. They could absolutely be used by our adversaries and have very low levels of, very easy to deny that they were even there, that they were used. Is that correct?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things, especially on the low duration, the low intensity, long duration hits.
Guys also said
low intensity, long duration hits. Remember the term long COVID? Yeah, they coined that term during the shutdown, and amidst all of the chaos and confusion, they came out with a term called long COVID. That's what that is. He just explained to you what long COVID is. All right. Look up the term TI, and I spoke on this briefly Well, really, I made mention of it in a brief segment or whatever about T.I. And I mean targeted individuals. All right. With this is the system that they use to do the targeting. All right. So I'm gonna go back and let you hear that, because what they're describing in this hearing right here, and look at the date. I'm gonna blow it up. If you can't see it, I can see it, but look at the date. It's on the side. May 8th, on the Homeland Security Committee, May 8th of last year. So almost a year ago was this hearing of last year, 2024, which was what was that? The hopeful year of our deliverance? But that was last year, 2024. Okay? And they're talking about what they're discussing here in this hearing is dossier, if you will, that was put out maybe sometime in the late 70s or maybe early 80s. It could have been early 70s, late 60s, but the title of this dossier was Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And that's exactly where we find ourselves right now, in a quiet war. But it's not going to stay quiet. But please make no mistakes about this, all right? They've employed these warfare tactics against the U.S. citizens. Now listen to this again. Oh, and you can look that up, by the way. I've been, studying this for years now. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Or is it Quiet Weapons for Silent Wars? Something to that effect. I believe it's Quiet Weapons Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And you can read about that. All right? And this is all the culmination of that. So check this out again.
How they're absolutely be used by our adversaries and have very low levels of, very easy to deny that they were even there, that they were used. Is that correct?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things, especially on the low duration, the low intensity, long duration hits.
You guys also said that these attacks are happening right here in this city. Is that correct?
I mean, there have been some that have gone public with respect to Washington, D.C.
I think it was Mr. Grozov said you spoke to a Russian agent who said that they believe that Americans are using these same weapons on them. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Might that have something to do with part of the CIA's motive to cover up the existence of this tech and these weapons?
That is a very logical possibility.
It's all come out, ladies and gentlemen. Directed energy weapons are being used at home. They're covering it up. At first, they rolled out the 5G, and then everybody started getting sick. This isn't in other people's problem. This isn't just happening to other people. This is happening to everybody. And you need to pay attention if you've been feeling off since the rollout of 5G, especially as a conservative or a pureblood. Chances are you're being targeted by this system. If you've been feeling chronic fatigue, recurring headaches, back problems, pain not associated with an injury, you're being hit by these weapons. It's not what you think. It's what they don't want you to know about. That's why we strongly recommend that you check out this book, Transhuman Genocide, so that you can understand exactly what's going on and how to defend yourself. You can find this book on Amazon. But this isn't your imagination. They want to torture people with long-duration attacks. They mimic the stages of cancer. They cause heart attacks and strokes. You're all in danger. You need to protect yourself. Check out this book, Transhuman Genocide, on Amazon.
All right, you do need to protect yourself. Check out this book, all right? Psalms. Again. Psalms, but this time 91. All right, you need to check out this book. That's what's wrong with the world today. All right. This is Psalm 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That shadow is the Most High's protection. All right. This is where you want to be in these times. Not in a bunker, not in some shelter. You want to be in the shadow of the Almighty. Nothing can touch you there. All right. So that secret place is this truth, the gospel. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So walking in this truth, walking in obedience in this truth. And you're in the secret place. Then are you in the shadow of the Almighty. Verse 2 says, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge. All right. A refuge is a place of comfort or rest from trouble. All right. People seeking asylum, like people coming across the border, what they call them, refugees, because they're what? Seeking refuge. Coming from war-torn countries or just crime-infested countries, they'll come to America, some of them, and seek of refuge. Well, this is what we need. We need refuge. We're in the land of our enemies as POWs. All right. We need refuge. That's why the Lord gave us the understanding of these scriptures, so we could be or abide in his secret place. So verse 2 again, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And that's where all this is going, toward the third woe, which would be a nuclear woe. All right. And that's what this noisome pestilence is speaking of. The noise of the detonation of them nuclear missiles that's coming in this third woe. This third world's conflict. All right. So, yeah, that's that. That's how you prepare. All of the other stuff, that ain't going to get you nowhere. Because Amos, the 5th chapter, tells you how the day of the Lord is going to be. There's going to be one calamity after the next, beginning at about when you get into verse 18. Amos chapter 5, verse 18. It's telling you the day of the Lord, it ain't going to be nothing to play with. All right. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right. So they be singing in the church about that great day, how Jesus getting them ready for that great day. And all this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. All this stuff. And the pastor ain't giving them the bitter. They just sit up there and give you the sweet with a song and dance so you could keep that tray full. You know the tray. Y'all know the one I'm talking about. You know, he's there for your entertainment. I'm not here to entertain you. All right? So much to the point that I hope they allow this video to stay up. All right? Because my job is not, the Lord didn't set me up as an entertainer. You know? My disposition is, I'm a serious brother. I laugh, but my default is serious. You know? The times that we're in are serious. So this is why it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Oh, so that's the day of judgment. Yeah, judgment. People are going to die in droves. That's what Judgment Day is. Verse 19 says, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So that's the day of the Lord, all right? One calamity after the next, all right? You're going to be in straits with this coming Jacob's trouble. The people, I ain't going to say those of you who believe, of course, of course not. But these people who believed in Babylon, worrying about chasing the bag instead of chasing Yahushua, they're going to be in straits. I don't want no parts of it, So I'm doing all that I can for me and my family to stand. All right. And with that, to the next one. Shalom.